Where do you even begin with a video like this? How we doing, budget conscious gear lovers the world over? If you're new to the channel, I'm Aaron, this is Gideonstactical. And I've been sitting on this idea for a little while now, where I wanted to share with you a list of gear items that are outdoor focused. So if you're a hunter, backpacker, camper, thru hiker, I mean, whatever, that would actually be enjoyable to use, that are good items. You know, just because something is cheap doesn't mean it's good. Many of these items I have used now for years on my backcountry adventures. I just want to share them with you, and they all float around the $40 price point. Some stuff is significantly less, some stuff is, you know, definitely more, but I'm trying to keep it budget conscious and kind of in that price range so that as we go into especially the holiday season, you're thinking of blessing friends and family, this proves that you don't have to rack up a bunch of credit card debt to hook friends and family up with excellent pieces of gear and equipment that they're going to use and get a lot of enjoyment out of, and that they can trust on trail and out when they're camping and doing stuff. And I mean, I got not just what you see here. I mean, I got tubs, I got ultralight, you know, like survival kits and all the gear in there. I got heavy duty bushcraft, you know, tool rolls and chest packs and water filtration system. I mean, so much that I'm gonna try and hit with you. We're just gonna have fun and kind of hang out and get through as much as I can, so that if you are maybe traveling and you're in the airport and just kind of kill time before you get on the plane, or you're on a road trip, or, you know, maybe answering some emails in between the holiday seasons, you know, and you're just like, hey, I need to get some ideas. I hope that this video will not only entertain, but also inform you guys and point you in the right direction and just have some fun here. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Man, it's so hard to decide where to start, but I guess we'll jump into some fixed blades since we do review quite a bit of that here at the channel. This is a hide and drink leather sheath that I love, that fits perfectly for actually kind of my preference in design. The Finhawk over Moras. This is an excellent little bushcraft knife, 90-degree spine, Scandi grind, and I like the kind of deeper guard and rubberized handle. The handle just kind of connects with me more. It's simple, 41/16 crowd, you know, steel, made in Taiwan, but these are like under 30 bucks, and the sheath I think is under 20. And the nice thing is and the sheath on this cold steel isn't that great. I hope they upgrade it, and it's great for Moras as well. So you can throw them into your Mora right there, and those work really well, and it's just kind of a nice upgrade for your Moras. And if you were to ask me of any Mora under the $40 price point, it would be the original Companion. That is my favorite, and the one that I could recommend to you guys the most if you're going to go with Mora, made in Sweden. And the Finhawk, if you already own some Moras, is an excellent option, and this sheath will fit both really nicely. But those are excellent, kind of kicking us off today. Accessories, but also, and that's what we got here too, a lot of accessories in that. I'm going to be floating and kind of bringing new stuff in and old stuff out and rotating here. But multi-tools, I think that when you go out in the outdoors, you got to have a plier-based multi-tool, and we have a few here on the list today, but this one is super cool. I love the high-vis red. This is a Work Pro spring-loaded, and I think these go for 20-25 bucks. So it's bonkers that you get like scissors. It kind of has the layout of your standard wave implements. You know, so you have some stuff on the inside. There's no bits. You can put bit adapters, but it's going to have like mini flatheads, screwdrivers, things like that. And then on the exterior, you not only get a pocket clip. Hello, now that Leatherman's not doing that with all their tools anymore, but you get like serrated, you're going to get a wood saw, and you are also going to get your standard kind of blade there. Really cool for, and especially for the high vis. I really like that aspect. And that's one of many options that we're going to discuss. Now, if you're looking at on the opposite side, maybe like a pocket knife, the Finn Wolf. Now this, in AUS 8, they still come around like 30-35 bucks, which is nuts. With a 90-degree spine, 0-degree Scandi edge, triad lock from cold steel, ambidextrous, lockback design. If you're into bushcraft and you want like a pocket knife, what I often do is like carry this thing, and then I'll carry like a much bigger kind of like bruiser type of fixed blade, and this will do all my fine work because I'm not batoning and chopping, and then I'll use the bigger blade for other stuff like that. And as we're going through this, guys, so you're not trying to remember all this stuff, since I'm going to be breezing through pretty quick, I will have a link over to my Amazon store and my affiliate program there that you can check out, as well as if any of these are not sold on Amazon, those will all be in the links in the description box below this video, so you can just check it out. You just click the link, bam, there's going to be a huge list of all the stuff we're talking about, and probably some other ones that I won't be able to get to, so you can can check that out anytime you want. But let's look at this. This is a great little kit to throw in a stocking and really inexpensive. Burton, USA made, or Brunton, I think. Yeah, Brunton, sorry. USA made compasses. I like this little button compass. It really works well, so I always have one at least, you know, and then I tether that with an emergency SOL whistle, and then a little mini signal mirror. So this is like my little, you know, get out of trouble signal and directional tether. I throw this in every single little survival kit, and probably this whole bundle here is like 15 bucks, maybe 20 bucks max to make this whole little bundle kit. Great for a stocking. Always make sure to put some masking tape over those mirrors so they don't scratch, and then remove that obviously if you're trying to signal and get people's attention and do that type of stuff. Now, let's look at, this is a kit I wanted to talk about and I just didn't get around to it. I'll do one next year. This is a system that includes a platypus filter for water filtration. Now, the reason I go with platypus over like Sawyer's and stuff is the flow rate is higher, so you can gravity flow rate it, and because now they have a thread for 28mm threads, what I'm able to do is use this, and then I got, and so that's like 40 bucks I think on average, and then I got these Conic, I don't know, these are, yes, 72 ounce I believe, bags. So you scoop up the water on the back end, and then so dirty water on one, and then you can just gravity hang and fill up your other one. So if you do a lot of backcountry filtering, and especially if you have a group or you just hate having to sit there at the, you know, water source for quite a long period of time, this is an awesome setup. 40 for that, and I think each bag is under 30, and that's so it'll be like $100, maybe $75, depending on the system. Check that out. If you're looking for a way to do gravity, that is my favorite, and I've tried a lot of them up to this point. Now, another cool system here is going to be a tried and true Stanley camp set. This thing is so awesome. Been around forever, 20 bucks probably right now. This is, I've had this one, I think, for at least 5 years, if not more. Take the little plastic tab off and put a little ring. That's the only thing. Those melt pretty quick, but it's basically indestructible. Stainless steel, and then you get 2 insulated mugs in there, and you can take those out and do your own, you know, stuff. This is a great camp kit. If you're not really worried about counting every single ounce, or you're just on a budget, this is great to go in survival kits, things like that. An awesome, awesome system right there. Now, I want to jump into this bushcraft tool roll, because there is a lot of gear going on inside here. And we'll get to that in just a moment, but there's a piece of gear that gives me such peace of mind that it's become essential when I go out exploring. And it is the sponsor of today's video, which is ZOLEO and their standalone satellite communicator. And what's really exciting is that they're offering their lowest price ever now through December 31st. And that word standalone is really key. You know, with so many smartphones, mine included now, that has some version of an SOS and emergency texting, watching my buddies on a recent backpacking trip in Wyoming, trying to hunt the night sky for, you know, 10, 15 minutes, trying to log into a satellite to then send a text or do whatever, convinced me without a doubt that having a separate dedicated SOS device that I can hit the SOS button, I know it's going to jump onto the Iridium satellite network, and I'm going to be able to start communicating with first responders. They're going to get my GPS coordinates immediately, and I can even progressively communicate with them, letting them know what's going on and having an ETA until the emergency is resolved. That, along with water resistant, shock resistant, and 200 plus hours of battery life. I went almost a week, and I still had like 40% life on this thing on our recent backpacking trip. And so having those features just makes sense for me versus just relying on a fragile, extremely expensive cell phone. And with the sale going on through the end of the year and subscription plans that can fit just about any budget, it just makes sense to have a dedicated satellite communicator like ZOLEO. So I have a link popping up. It's in the description box below. You guys can check it out and see all the different features that this device offers and stay connected and give you that peace of mind when you go out on your adventures. Okay, so being able to start a fire is probably one of the most essential skills any outdoorsman can have. And the system that I rely on the most, and you guys see tested out here the most, are my Uber Leben series of gear. These things are awesome. They have lots of different options. This is kind of like your standard wood handle. You know, you throw sparks off of this thing. Let's see if I can just do it here real quick. Boom, right? Very easy to use. Now I put a tinder cord on there. So this has burnable tinder inside, so if I was stuck somewhere, I did that. And then along with that, what you see probably tested out here the most is one of their giant fire starting rods. This thing is so freaking cool. And I think I've had this now for 2 years and still just like a monster. And I do tons of testing and just, you know, practicing my bushcraft skills and all that with this. So that's a great one to have in a kit. It's a little heavy for like on-trail carrying, but I always pair whichever system with one of their Uberleben bellows and wicks. So this is paraffin wax coated cordage, basically like hemp rope, so it's very easy to start and it burns. And then this tube here not only snuffs it out, but you can use that as a bellows to blow onto the fire and really create a tight vortex. It's much more efficient than just, you know, breathing on it or something like that. So those are awesome. Any one of those would be excellent. Now, if we're looking at pocket knives, another great one is the Cold Steel Voyager. Now, sometimes these are, normally they're like 60, 70 bucks, but a lot of times they'll be on sale for like 45 to 50. This thing is a monster and very reliable. You can get them in all sorts of blade shapes. I know the drop point is probably the best for outdoor use, but you got a lot to work with. And arguably, if you don't feel like you need a fixed blade, this would be an awesome option to kind of just be a general carry tool that you can pack away and carry, and just EDC in general. But then we have another multi-tool here. Now this is a multiplier. It's based off of a Surge. That's what, now all those patents went away, so that's why we're seeing so many of these now. Look at how ginormous those heads are. Replaceable teeth, huge body frame. We got the measurements on the exterior. Look at this. This is so cool. Damascus, like Samurai style blade. I think they are making this out of 9CR or even something very close to that, like high end. Like that is a better quality steel than 420HC, which you get on a standard like cable, or excuse me, Leatherman. Then they have the replaceable bit file for saws and all that stuff, and it comes with all of those things, a giant exterior pair of scissors, like so much stuff on this tool, and the thing is 40 bucks. It's 40 bucks. I can't even get into it. There's so much here. We spend 15 minutes. I need to do a whole review on that. But if you like the Surge, but you're like, I don't want to spend 150 bucks, that is an awesome heavy-duty alternative. Then we have here, let's go behind first, field notes. You got to have some field notes and a write in the rain pen, right? To be able to leave notes, you know, for yourself or guidance for people and leave notes for them, you know, whatever you got to do. And then we have here a BPS fin light. Just did the video on this. If you want to see the full review, I'm going to try and take this off here. There we go. That was a little tough. This is super cool. So Ashwood handles, FullTang construction, Ukrainian made, 1066 high carbon steel, very easy to resharpen, great little bushcrafter, carver, great for gift items, things like that, because it comes with a good leather sheath. And then it has eyelets, no belt attachment as it comes, but I bought an Ulti-Clip. The knife itself is 25 bucks. Okay. Mora wants 200 for their stainless steel basic blade with Ashwood handles and a leather sheath. So pretty insane value there. And then you just throw on an Ulti-Clip. You know, it's probably, what, that bumps it up to like 35 bucks. But this is a cool little setup. If you don't like all the polymers and plastics and you want something a little bit more rustic, that is an awesome, awesome little blade right there. And I guess because we're talking about Ulti-Clips, that's a great one as well. Just Ulti-Clips, but also their new one. This one is a pass-through. You got that whole short I did blew up. It's called the AP. This one's cool because it's rounded. It can either be locked down and pass through a belt. It'll go through a 1.75-inch belt, or I pocket carry it that as well on knives like this at Reef F3. This is not 40 bucks. This is like 240 bucks. But those are just some accessories right there. And I don't think I have anything else in this roll except for my Nightcore Air. I took this on the last backpacking trip. It's a 5,000 milliamp, but it's so thin and lightweight. I think it weighs like 3 ounces or something. It's super, super lightweight, and that's a great way to keep your tech charged, things like that. And the roll itself, there are lots of good rolls out there. Man, if I could talk, rolls, it is a Lockerbie. That's a Lockerbie roll, very high quality, very, very well built. Really cool design. They have a couple different organizers, I believe, pouches and things like that you can look into if you're trying to build out a bushcraft kit. All right, let's bang out a couple other things here. Let's look at this. Oh yeah, dude. Previously reviewed at review, 40 bucks is what I paid, 38 bucks is what I paid for this D2 steel Swiss Tech, sold at Walmart exclusively currently. This thing is a monster. I was not expecting anything out of it. This thing is a total monster. Polymer sheath, clicks into place. Again, this would be a great kind of like camp knife, survival knife, and then you carry one of these little Scandies with you, and you can do all of your finer stuff. Go check out the video. I'll try and tag as much as I can. All this stuff you can go explore on the channel and see for yourself, but that is a freaking beast and a half right there. Gloves, mechanic gloves. I think any outdoorsman should have a pair, and if you are in wintertime, there are some great leather Arctic mechanic gloves. But man, large size hands, baby. I love these. These are just one of many options. This is like I think this is leather. This is a leather design they call, I can't remember. But anyway, these are the ones that I like hike with a lot, do a lot of my bushcrafting with, especially as the temperatures change, or, get a pot out of the fire, do whatever you're doing right there. Awesome choice with that. And then let's talk about some med stuff, and that will bring us into some of this right there. Obviously know what you're doing, get training, do all that, but true cat tourniquets, every outdoorsman needs to have a good med kit with them. So a tourniquet, and then I use these, I always get questions about this thing. It's like a travel organizer, when you go like flying on an airplane. It's a VanQuest, but it's really thin and lightweight, and it collapses down or opens up. And then I have my entire med kit in there, and it's got a Velcro patch, so I just put med. But that's where I got all my medical supplies, things like that. And even building out a good medical kit, if you know what you're doing, and giving that to somebody, or making sure that you've done that. But all these items, $40 or less on average for those little guys right there. Trying to get that out of the way here. Ooh, I know. Let's do chest packs here real quick, because I get questions about these all the time, and I have a few variants that we're going to talk about. But this is like the best dedicated one at this like $40 to $50 price point. This is a 511 Skyweight. I've used this for over a year now. You get attachments on the front, attachment on the bottom, so that you can then attach bear spray with a secondary adapter. I can't remember who makes that, so that'll be in the description box and in the links below. But bear spray, that would be a good gift as well. I've definitely gifted those to friends and family before. But I'm able to then carry my bear spray, have a fixed blade or something on the front, and then I have a few tether points, and then it has just enough space inside for my CCW and maybe one or two other items. And then you can also get the utility version, which has several layers to it. That way you could, if you wanted to not carry a sidearm, though it could handle that, you could build it out for like a survival kit or a fishing kit, those type of things. Very good. I've been very happy with that. And because of that, as I just banged the crap out of the camera, that's how I fell onto this model right here, which is a FullTang Tactical. And this is an all USA made chest pack. Maybe just save some extra money. This is an awesome alternative. Made in Taiwan, SK5 steel, has the exact same kind of style and design. I was pretty impressed with this thing. $18 when I, tested this out. $18. Now, again, prices may vary and fluctuate all the time. Who knows? You're watching this years later, whatever. They may be more expensive. But that is an awesome option if you like your silky saws. And since we're talking about saws, the ones I actually prefer are Samurai saws made in Japan out of SK5 steel as well. $35 to $40 all day long. This is a 9-inch blade right there. Very, very good saw. And they're lighter weight is the reason. These are lighter than that model that you just saw, and silky saws, things like that. And they even make a few Coronas now if you want to cut down on some weight and size. That's a little Corona one that I believe, because it's got the same dimensions and everything, I believe Samurai is making that for Corona. So let's talk about some more fixed blades, man. I got so many blades over here. I'm like, holy crap, I need to step it up a notch here. Okay, let's go ahead. If you're looking, the Mora Eldris, right? These are better. I'm just going to tell you, the Odin Wolf Mini Ws, you can get them in a Saber Scandi with a much better sheath, FullTang construction, D2 steel, HRC is 60, or you can get it with the classic Scandi. Very good, full handle grip, awesome for the kiddos if you want to start them out. Just a hair under 2 inches right there, but a great little whittling knife. Come with the pocket clip, a lanyard. Last I checked, $25. $25 a pop. Those things are freaking awesome. Always recommending those. Now, we talk a lot about like hunting knives here and how I've been using them as like utility knives to put on those chest packs and stuff. The Kershaw Step is one that no one really talks about, but I think is absolutely a great little lightweight utility knife for those of you hikers, backpackers, and hunters, because we're getting D2 steel, rubberized FullTang. You could paracord wrap that if you wanted to. Fills out the hand. 90-degree spine right there, and Just works, dude. It just works. Got a polymer ambidextrous sheath. The sheath sometimes sticks a little bit, so that's the only thing. It's the rubber, you know, like you're not going to lose the knife, so that's the benefit. But sometimes, depending on how you feed it in there, it's kind of you got to work with it a little bit. There you go, it's smoother that way. And then it does come with a clip, since the knife is ambidextrous. You could pocket carry it, run that on tabs, or put blade tech locks, molly locks, paracord lashing, whatever you want to do. 45 bucks last I checked. So that is an awesome kind of, when you're looking at these hunting knives that sometimes are like 200 bucks. That's a pretty sick alternative. Now, an accessory that you can look at, if you know someone or you yourself love a particular knife, but you're just not happy with the handles, go look at Lucas Carroll. He has been doing custom handle scales, and he is awesome. This is one of the new slabbies from K-Bar that comes with polymer handles that just micarta. Look at how sick that thing looks, and he does that for all kinds of different K-Bars and Essies and even White Rivers, stuff like that, and they're all between like 40 and 60 bucks, just depends on model, size, stuff like that, and I actually have a promo code for that one, like 15% off, so I'll add that in. So if you have, or someone you know has a knife they love, and you think they could dig some upgraded micarta or G10, go check those out. Another super cool, let's talk about, now, this is crazy. I thought these were discontinued, but they keep popping up a couple times a year, especially at Blade HQ, for 45 bucks. This is the Gerber Prodigy, USA made, 420HC. Basically, some people like it better than the strong arm. The sheath is much bulkier. I don't really like the sheath as much, but the knife itself, ergonomically, 90-degree spine. It's got that kind of crossover combat utility. It's hard to beat that for a USA-made knife. If you can find it floating around, I often will make posts when they do drop, and they usually sell out in like minutes because they are desirable at under 50 bucks usually for these American fixed blades, which is just bonkers. Okay, let's look at we haven't talked about axes, I guess. Here's a couple right here. This is a Camillus that I just saw pop back up. I was not expecting anything awesome out of this, and it really blew me away. I think it's 1055 steel. You know, like two collars in there to keep it all locked in. I was thoroughly impressed. I think I paid 40 bucks for that thing. Leather scabbard included, and actually, like, it's a good bushcraft knife, or a bushcraft axe if you just need splitting and chopping and want to do that stuff, and you don't want to go with something like, say, an S-wing. S-wings are also amazing, American-made little hatchets and stuff like that. Great options if someone's getting into the outdoors to kind of point them in the right direction. Now, let's go ahead and look at another ultralight survival kit and some illumination, other really cool things in here, including my night core. This is my illumination kit. All this stuff is under 50 bucks or 40 bucks. This is a night core NU21. That's my favorite version. USB-C rechargeable. It's going to be a very light headlamp that also has red and SOS, like lots of different features on it. And it's just so compact, very good to pack away, especially when you're counting every ounce. And it does come with one of these little like mesh bags you can turn into a lantern, but I use it to actually hold all my stuff. And then I always bring a backup with me because I went on a backpacking trip once and my headlamp died. I just didn't have the ability to charge it or replace the batteries. And so I always like having something, a backup. And this Rovivon E series, this is an E7. The reason I like this one is that it can put a AAA battery in there and run, or it runs on an external or internal, integrated battery. So that thing is super cool. Let's see if it's charged right now. It may not be. Yep, that one needs to be recharged. Since our backpacking trip, I need to go update that. And then, you know, obviously little tethers to donglers to charge up your stuff, and some spare batteries. Always good to get a couple of those that are compact that will charge up, you know, yours or your friends and families. Electronics, phones, stuff like that. Now these are so cool. Check this out. These are big and small. I carry the mini one with me when I go out into the wilderness. These are from Atwater or Atwood. I can't remember. Anyway, they hold cordage. This is like bank line, reflective bank line that holds a mini lighter in there, so you can do what you need to and then burn off the little bit. You get a little lid in there, throw that in there like that, and it even has a mini razor blade on the other side so you can cut the cordage. So it's like fully enclosed cordage retainer, and then you can get one for $5.50 paracord as well, which will have a standard like straight razor in there, attachment points to hang, wrap up to 100 feet of paracord, no problem, and then has a full size. If I can open it, come on, there we go. Oh, I have tape on this one. Yeah, there you go. Lighter, boom. So it's all fully enclosed. So that has eliminated all the rat's nests of paracord that I always had floating around, great for camping or for backpacking and hiking. And then this is a Vertex pouch that's extremely lightweight, has Velcro on the back, so that you can tether that into stuff, and tether points here, so you can carry it in different ways. That I used for, that was on our last backpacking trip. This thing right here, I'm sure some of you are really curious about this. This thing right here is a Dirk sheath adapter from FullTang Tactical, the guys that are doing that chest pack. This thing is super sick. It can be attached to leather or Kydex polymer sheaths, and it just gives you a lot of lashing options. It pancakes. It's American made. You can do a drop leg or run it backwards, and then you have PALS webbing attachment. It's just a very modular little adapter that will fit on a lot of different size fixed blades, so that you have more lashing options. Made in America, Cordura and Kevlar, I believe, super cool. Now, obviously, any version of the SRK in SK5 steel. Now this is a 3V version of the SKC. This was exclusive to Midway, but that was $100, but it just represents what we're talking about. This thing right here, super sick, 90-degree spine on many of them, and I've opted more, like if you want to carry it a lot, I think because of the thinness of the stock and just a little bit more lightweight, the SKC is probably the better like woods knife. The original would be the better, obviously, like combat knife. Let's see here for another compact one, the Kaiser, and this is it's not the Beaver, it's the Hare. The Hare is the bigger one, the Beaver is smaller. I like the Hare a little bit more. Lots of different steel choices, great little compact fixed blade if that's what you need or want to carry. Now you can build out an entire cook kit like this very inexpensively. This is a titanium Toaks pot right here. Has a lid. Then I always like the Sea to Summit collapsible polymer cups for coffee and drinking stuff. And then you got your collapsible MSR spoon. Really like that. BPS stove, 16, 17 bucks, guys. It's basically what I've converted to. Unless you're in really high altitude and extremely windy conditions, totally more than enough. And I have really appreciated that. You can get who can't use another fuel pod, right? Who can't use that? And they have the adapters that you can swap fuel pods as well and put half used into another half used and make yourself a almost full tank. And then there's that titanium mug, I think 25 bucks. Two other options to carry gear on you or organize are Vertex over here, long walk fanny pack. This would probably be if I was just looking for a dedicated fanny pack. You can wear as a chest pack, but go watch the video. It's kind of goofy. But this is very good for just carrying some gear and you want to hike with, have it in front of you on your fanny pack. It's really lightweight and easy to use in that capacity. And then we just previously reviewed this one. This is the LA Police gear chest pack, waist pack, and MOLLE compatible pack. So you have 3 options with PALS webbing back there. Comes with the organizer inside as well as the CCW attachment. YKK zippers, 30 bucks, guys. 30 bucks for that thing. That is, if you're wanting to get into chest packs and you want maybe options, that is a great one. Sharpeners, obviously any work sharp, but if you want to kind of kick it up a notch and have some more of options, this is a Sharpal that has, I guess I should show you this. It uses diamond and ceramic rods, and they all house in here. And then you get leather straps as well. So this gives you the ability, especially if you have like recurves or just kind of like weird shaped blades, this one works really well because it's pretty compact. And then you have that and you have a whole handle there to then run and sharpen up your blades, do whatever you want to do. With that, like on this Condor, the Pterosaur and the Bush Glider, $10.95, $50, 47 bucks, 47 bucks maybe. FullTang construction, made in El Salvador. Very cool, very cool blades and ambidextrous polymer sheaths. Another great recommendation right there. And then I think we're getting pretty close. Any Fiskars, Axe, definitely would recommend. Another Walmart exclusive in the, when I reviewed this, it was 50 bucks. I think it's jacked up now, but it's kind of based off of like a sailor knife. This is VG10 steel, pinned in micarta. Look at how thick that is, 0.2 on the stock thickness, but it is a beast, super reliable from my experience, and a leather sheath with pass-through clip attachment. I want to say they're pushing 60 now, but they are still an excellent option, especially if you need to run over to Walmart. They might have that. There it is, guys. I think that's about it. I'm sure, I know I got tons more, but I think this is a good place to stop. I appreciate you guys. I invite you to check out, I did an EDC version of this that I will tag right now that you can check out if you want to see that type of stuff. Leave questions. I highly recommend leaving comments as well on what your favorite pieces of gear and equipment, maybe that I did not mention here. And again, you can check out those links. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, have a great Thanksgiving and holiday season, Christmas, all that. Until next time, I'll see you out there.